Well, I decided to change my sweatshirt thing. I probably shouldn't have someone's company logo on as I'm going through all this hateful shit. I just realized that I've been trying to keep it covered, but let me tell you how I've never been able to pull my weight and they've always bitch slapped it back in my face. You know, your cousin called and notified us that you moved out, so technically you're trespassing. Thank you for human trafficking me and refusing to take a statement. Oh well. Not to my cousin. She was aware of it. Her response was, I talked to Donald when you were younger. I was going to take you away from Richard and Carolyn. Yeah. You talked to the child porn producing piece of fucking shit about removing me from their care. Now, how much sense does that make? Oh well. As I stated, one person's heaven is another person's hell, especially when they can get you down over nothing, over a he said, she said situation. So, shall I talk more about Chevelle and Lacey? And Chevelle being one of Lisa's little buddies? Or shall I talk more about Chaplain Powell's family and their ties to Lacey and Chevelle? And Shirley Brown Powell with Trooper Brown coming at me? Shall I talk more about Shirley Brown Powell giving him $100 bills in Florida for an unknown substance? You all can subpoena the text messages. I believe it went something along the lines of, why did you give Justin so much cash? Her response was, let's hope he uses it for bills. But oh well. Yeah. Mr. Wallingford's exact words were, he had been bullied, so he learned how to bully. Everything that came out of my mouth was garbage, and that I was filth. Now, what should I do? Sit and cry about that, or just let it go? So let me tell you about Patrick Boggs and his hand in the sick shit I talked about, and then giving Shirley's daughter, Justin's mother, and the heroin dumbassery a fucking badge for courtroom security. So let me tell you about being sexually assaulted by those fucking perverts, Tony Wins and Wendell Mason offering to buy me animals to screw for child porn productions, furthering to Patrick giving heroin a badge to harass the people they had been selling to. So that's not free will when somebody puts a gun in your side, takes money out of your wallet, and leaves shit on your desk. Now, who in the hell do I need to contact so that this situation is investigated and rectified? The JCC and their fucking bunch of idiots? Yes, make the goddamn complaints public. Why not? Let me tell you about my complaint about Cameron Blau, Dolores Woods Baker, Ray Baguki, John Estel, Donald L. Wood, Judge Kim Razor. Let me tell you about my complaints I sent in. Oh well. So if I burst my temporal artery in a severe nervous tic, my apologies that it upset you. I do the best I can. only for people to complain it's never good enough while squishing me out for whatever reason with their sick conversion reparative bullshit. So, after Mercy Claremont, when these cops wouldn't take a statement or believe me either because of my Tourette's and anxiety, I came home, took Oxy, Valium, and Cymbalta. I said, to hell with these people. If they're going to call me a liar repeatedly, why in the hell do I care what they think? They'll label that as mental illness because they don't want to admit that what they did to me left me permanently suffering physically. That happened in one of your car wrecks. Well, let me tell you more about Debbie and big titty bitch porn on break. They used to keep the porn in that homemade cherry thing next to the fireplace. Or shall I talk more about Taylor and Karen and their hand in smoothing it over? I've had it up to here with the medical gaslighting. I want my medical records amended to portray the accurate diagnoses. Oh well. Oh well. So I got evicted from 9152 Springdale. I'm allowed to talk about it. Let me tell you about being raped and sex trafficked in that goddamn house, and not even being allowed to get my shit on my time with a disabled body. Shall I show you the scar and skull fracture again? They claim that happened this time. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. I was bludgeoned when that happened. That has a very interesting citrusy note to it. Citrus and pine, maybe? And guess what? It works. When there aren't badges right there staring at me trying to record something or report something. So let me tell you about Charles Shelton and being sexually assaulted at Eastern State Hospital, where they labeled it as cannabis abuse. Now, shall I call out Chris Colglazer and Tri-State Arthritis and Rheumatology again, or the Winses again? It would be nice to be able to live my life in peace without having to worry every goddamn day. But unfortunately, it's not reality. So I don't think I ever showed a clear picture of this. It's hard to see it. It's right here. Camera's not good enough to get a photo of it. It's where they grabbed me. You know how they do the wrist lock thing. Dug right in until it bled, all because I'm pretty sure the DNA theft had already happened on school bus 22. Mary Toller is bus monitor. I don't think Barb Mitchell, Deputy Mitchell's aunt, had become bus monitor yet, but I'm not quite sure on the timing. A lot of bad shit happened back then. So let me tell you about being in Mason County before the EPO, post-firearms prohibition, then putting a gun in my back and a toe tag on my foot, stating, "Now, are you going to cooperate, or should we go ahead and call the coroner?" And guess what? The Kentucky State Police didn't have to wear body cameras then either. Well, that policy's about to change. You all think that God couldn't move mountains? Guess you're wrong. Thank God I'm not God, right? And I'm not left-handed. That stroke really did a major disconnect, not to mention this shit. All the cops saw was me self-flagellating with my severe nervous tics. I call it self-flagellation, because I hate to think that my illness has become so severe it causes that. All the while them lying about it repeatedly. That's just me. And that's how well cannabis works. All the while, people like Deputy Lisa, whatever her last name is now, traumatic brain injury symptoms are drugs. You people are sick, and my story is going to get published. They did they? I'm just pointing things out. That Canadian shipment to Nelson County. Well, the Rouses always did say that Lauren's family couldn't take good enough care of Craig's kid. Couldn't afford to. Craig, one of the DP&L men. So I just point out connections I see. I wouldn't put anything past those Mason County assholes. And as I said, that's how all cannabis works. Just depends on how severe the symptoms are for the time of treatment, or at the time of treatment. Today's a better day. For me. But you know, it had to be all about fitting their agenda. Well, they said it was a gay agenda. Like people like me pushing a gay agenda. No, the agenda that was being pushed was drugging and raping kids and then turning rape into nothing more than a delusion. And it wasn't to help them. Maybe that's what Jacob Henderson meant that one night downtown. Being gay must be easier. Actually, being raped as a gay man, believe it or not, is still traumatic. I've never rolled, so no, I don't know what sex is like rolling. I had to look that up. What in the hell is rolling? Molly, ecstasy, oh. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Opening the door to find him naked with... Watch me. Kim Razor should have followed due process protocol as I understand it. And a bunch of other shit. Not on Kim Razor's part. They're gonna court me. Oh, they're gonna court me. Oh. Theater. Now, if the judge sits up on the bench, schizophrenic face the whole time. So do you escape your home life to be miserable here too? Or do you just hate being at home? No offense, no disrespect, it's an honest question. I like to know the people I'm dealing with. There's no judge sitting in front of me. I'm not hallucinating. That's just what I would say. Then again, I was the kid so stupid I put my hand on a burner as soon as they turned it off. That one Springdale cop with the cool tattoos. Probably a hetero. You know, you can't say this stuff about us without us getting questioned and reviewed. Well, no disrespect or no need for it here, honestly. They just don't know. Honestly, the people here, they're good cops. They seem that way anyway. No need for them to go through anything. The cops in Mason County, they all need strapped to the wall and questioned, interrogated. We'll put on Tony Braxton and play it on repeat real loud. See what their answers are this time. I swear to God, they did that to me when I was a kid. It's funny thinking about it now, but they did that to me. Ah! For being gay. Well, like I said, they need to look up the Warwick Rowers, for starters, and then ask the members of MCSO and MPD, which one of you all are man enough to do this? Not naked, necessarily. Good, clean revenue. Officer Merrill, it would sell like hotcakes. May Justin Merrill turn so red with embarrassment he explodes. I don't like firearms. I never have liked guns. I'd rather be in a household where there were no guns present. If that's, to be perfectly honest, I don't like them. Hal, you've got to learn to defend. I always do this too. If you see me doing this, it's basically me flashing back to how my family was. You've got to learn to defend yourself. No, I fucking don't. It tickles me and helps me get through the trauma. It's not my problem. You don't understand it. I've always been odd according to other people. But then again, all the shit I've witnessed. Your penis was just in my friend girl. No, I will not finish you off. That's pretty goddamn odd to me. Get up, bitch. Drive me home. I'm drunk. You? I'm not drunk, but I planned on staying here tonight. I'll drive your sorry ass home. I drove Mr. Pumpelly home, and I'm not staying neither. Ugly ass white cabinets and good counters. He drove a Duramax. It's different in an Escalade. Ugly ass white truck. I don't even think it had leather. I don't remember. I know he jumped on me, leaving taters. Careful now, this is a diesel. You'll tear up the glow plugs or whatever. I know about diesel. How was I supposed to know? You have a new car every week. I do believe those are symptoms of a stroke, especially with my right side drifting down, but you know what? Home rehab was the best that we could afford. So watch them kick the crap out of me over cannabis when they were producing child porn and raping kids. I read a good article about an African American female physician who kept getting passed up on promotions and such, residencies and fellowships, all because she was a woman, African American, and the same shit that I went through. You didn't work hard enough. You're not good enough. That is so fucking sick. I'll just say it publicly, and if someone gets offended, my apologies. I have been called a nigger by white people. I was entertainment for the white folk. I was told not to nigger lip dick. I don't say that word in an offensive manner. And that's the kind of goddamn family I had to live with. You know what? People under 18 should not be allowed to use any of these applications because people are speaking about their health. That's why I choose it. It's not appropriate for children to watch this. Honest 100% to God, I hate saying it. I'm not proud to use that word. I'm not proud to say it. If it slips out in a Tourette's thing, it's not offensive. I don't mean it to be offensive, but I've been called a nigger by the white people who treated me as their entertainment. So that's how much my family loved me. And let me tell you about the